Okay, so for this video, I'm going to be doing an SFMA assessment, which is a selective functional movement assessment. I'm going to run the patient here through a set of tests and then score him on the scale. So Ryan, can I get you to first bring your chin down to your chest and hold. Okay. Did you have any pain with that movement?
No.
No. Can I get you to do the same thing, but just extend your neck and hold? All right. So for this, I'm going to give him a dysfunctional. Did you have any pain?
No.
A dysfunctional with no pain, as he could not get to within 10 degrees of parallel with the ceiling. Can I get you to, you're going to go to your right side first. So what you're going to do is bring your chin over and touch your chin to your collarbone without lifting your shoulder. All right, hold it. Now do the other side. All right, so on his right side, I will give him a functional and no pain. And then on the left side, I'm going to give him a dysfunctional with no pain. All right. So for this part, I'm going to be doing the upper extremity pattern, number 1. So he's going to be coming underneath. So what we get you to do is take your right arm, bring it behind you, and bring it up as far as you can. Okay, so with his hand here, he's able to get past the inferior angle of the scapula. So I'd give him a functional, non-painful, no pain. And then you can do the other side. Okay, and then he did the same thing here. He got past the inferior angle, so he gets a functional, no pain. Next, can I get you to take your arm, put it over your head like this, and just put it over here, and then reach as far down as you can. Yeah. There you go. So for this, he's able to get past the spine of the scapula, and no pain was produced from this. No pain, so functional, no pain. And you do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So again, he's past the spine of the scapula, so I give him a functional, no pain. All right. So you stand up straight. What I'm going to get you to do is go down and touch your toes. So I'm looking for spinal uniformity as he bends down, seeing if he is greater than or less than 70 degrees of sacral flexion. So it appears that his spine is pretty uniform across, and he has the proper amount of sacral movement. And did you have any pain with that?
No.
So give him a functional, no pain. So now what I'm going to get you to do is you're going to stand up straight, arms above your head. You're going to extend your back as far as you can. And hold as long as you can. Alright, so for this, is there any pain with that?
No.
So for this one, I'm giving him a dysfunctional, no pain, because he was not able to meet the amount of extension, and he was also having his body compensate by thrusting his hips forward. Alright, so for this one, what you're going to do, we're going to do both sides at the hip. You're going to stand shoulder widths apart, and then you're going to turn your hip about 50 degrees this way. So, alright, and then what you're going to do next is stick your arms out and spin the same way as far as you can. Alright. Was there any pain with that?
No.
Can you go back into that position? So you can relax. I'm going to give him a functional with no pain, as he was able to get to the 50 degrees of motion at the hip, and then about 50 more degrees with the shoulder rotation. Can you do the same thing the opposite direction? Alright, any pain with that?
No.
No. You hold it one more. Hold it again. Alright, so no pain with that?
No.
And I was checking to make sure he wasn't shifting his weight or anything like that, and it didn't appear so, so I'll give him a functional and non-painful. For this next one, what I'm going to get you to do, you can start on whichever leg you want. You're going to come into a 90-90 here, and you're going to hold it. Hold the single leg stance. Okay? Alright. Yeah, you can hold it. Alright. So, for this, I'm looking, you can relax, I'm looking for any pelvic shift to see if he's dropping his hips in order to compensate, or if he's having any abnormal movements throughout the chain. So, and did you have any pain with that?
No.
So he wasn't able to hold it very well, and he was also compensating with his hip, so I'm going to give him a dysfunctional with no pain. And that was on the right side.
Right side. Right leg.
You do the same thing on the left. All right. Is there any pain with that?
No.
That one was a little bit better than the contralateral side, as there was not the hip hike or the hip drop as before, so I'm going to give him a functional with no pain. Alright, so next one I'm going to get you to do is you're going to go into a deep squat, and you're going to put your arms overhead, shoulder width apart, arms overhead, and then you're going to go into a squatting position and hold. Do you have any pain with this?
No.
No? Hold that position. Alright, you can come back up. For that one, I'm going to give him a dysfunctional with no pain, as the amount of pelvic flexion he was in was at an increased rate, and also he was leaning forward as he went down. He did not stay straight up. So first what I'm going to get you to do is just stand up straight, arms next to you, and what you're going to do is you're going to bring your chin to your chest, so your sternum right here.
Okay.
Alright, so go ahead, straight down, bring it back up, you do it again. Okay, so is there any pain with that?
Nope.
There's no pain. He wasn't able to actually touch his chin to his chest, so I'm going to give him a dysfunctional but non-painful score for that. Next thing is you get in the same position, and you're going to extend your head toward the ceiling. Okay? You do it one more time? Okay, relax. Was there any pain with that?
Nope.
Alright, so there's no pain with that, and so he was able to get within that 10 degrees of being parallel with the ceiling. So I'm going to give him a functional, non-painful. Alright, next what you're going to do is you stand here, just relax. You're going to take your chin and bring it to the middle of your collarbone right here.
So touch it and not
Touch it with your chin. Alright? And then alright, can you do it again? Alright, so for this, is there any pain?
Nope.
I'm going to give him a dysfunctional, non-painful, as he was not able to get his chin to his collarbone without lifting the shoulder up. Can you do the opposite way? Do it one more time. Alright, so for that side, he was able to get his chin to his collarbone, so I'm going to give him a functional, non-painful. Alright, so for this next portion, what I'm going to get you to do is you're going to take your arm and bring it right behind you and come up as far as you can. This is the upper extremity pattern 1. So he's able to reach the inferior angle of the scapula. And did you have any pain with it? Slight pain. So I'm going to give him a functional but with pain. Can you do the opposite hand? Alright. Is there any pain with that? No. So for that, I'm going to give him a functional, non-painful, since there was no pain on that side. Alright, next I'm going to get you to do, you're going to bring your arm over your head, come down as far as you can. Okay, go ahead. So he reaches the spine of the scapula. Did you have any pain?
No.
So because he's able to reach the spine of the scapula, it has no pain, I'll give him a functional non-painful. That's on the right side, so not his left side. He's able to get past the spine of the scapula. And did you have any pain?
No.
Functional non-painful, and that was the upper extremity pattern 2. Next one, we need you to stand up straight. And then you're going to come down and touch your toes, put your feet together, come down and touch your toes. Alright. Any pain with that?
Nope.
So he wasn't able to come down and touch his toes, and he also had a little bit extra bend in the pelvic region. So I'm going to give him a dysfunctional but non-painful score. Alright. Next, what you're going to do is stand up straight just like this, shoulders apart, hands above your head, and you're going to extend back as far as you can. Hands up, extend back. Hold that spot. So for this, you relax. He wasn't able to get his ASIS in front of his toes. It was about perpendicular with his toes. So I'm going to give him a dysfunctional, non-painful. Alright, so next what you're going to do, you're going to turn your hips, but keeping your feet flat. Turn your hips about 50 degrees. And then you're going to extend your arms out and try and turn your trunk. About 50 more degrees.
Try to keep going.
Alright. Can you do it one more time? Go back to normal. And do your hips first, and then spin your trunk. Any pain with that?
Yeah, right shoulder.
Right shoulder. Okay. So for this, I'm going to give him a functional but painful. All right. You do the same thing in the opposite direction. So spin your hips first, and then move your shoulders. Any pain with that? Anything in your left shoulder? Try to keep your arm up.
Yeah.
Alright. For that, I'm going to give him a functional non-painful because the pain did not hurt until he had to lift his shoulder, which is technically not part of the test. Alright, next, what you're going to do is a single leg stance. So you're just going to stand shoulder width apart, and you can choose whichever leg you want to start with first. You're going to bring it up and hold. Alright, relax. Was there any pain with that? Nope. Alright, that was your right side.
Left leg, one on first.
Okay, so on his right side, I'm going to give him a dysfunctional, non-painful, as he had to compensate by leaning back when he was balancing, and he was also not able to balance as well. Can you do the same on the other side? Okay. Keep trying to hold it. Alright, relax. Was there any pain with that?
Yeah.
There's. So for that, I'm going to also give him a dysfunctional and painful, or dysfunctional and painful, as for the last time it was dysfunctional with no pain. And he was not at a 90 degree at the hip, so that also factors into the dysfunction. Alright, so the last one we're going to do is you're going to go down into a overhead squat. So what you're going to do is feet shoulder width apart, hands at your side first. You're going to raise them above your head, and you're going to go down into a squat. So go down, hands above your head, and then go down into your squatting position. Is that as far as you can go?
Yep.
Okay. Hold it real quick. Relax. Okay, so was there any pain?
Yeah.
So he gets a dysfunctional and painful as he was not able to go down into the full deep squat. His trunk leaned forward as he went down. His arms continued to go forward, and he had a valgus collapse at the knee as he was going down. All right, good.